Alright guys, I'm here for my week 3 game against TCMTL, and so he didn't bring a Mamoswine, which is weird, but he brought pretty much everything else I expected. I sort of didn't expect the Azumarill, but I knew he could bring it. Just go over the sets. You probably saw my team builder. I posted it a while ago, or I made it a while ago. Actually, I only made it like a couple hours ago. I posted it relatively recently, I hope. I don't know, I haven't posted it yet at the time of recording this, but I will. So yeah, um, looking at the team matchup, I am scared of Necrozma, as I would be anyways. Um, Steelix could be a big defensive threat. It can handle pretty much everything else. Zoroark could be annoying, but I don't think it'll do too much. Um, certain Azumarill sets could be bad. Necrozma is massive, as I said. And if I let these two go down, then Sceptile has a field day, which is terrible, because I didn't bring Ice Shard. So let's just get into the game. And I lead with my Landorus to get rocks up or to U-turn out. I thought he would predict me to just get my rocks up, and I thought he would go for Ice Fang, so I U-turned out into my Slowbro just to, get in, kill it. But he makes a nice play and goes for rocks, gets his rocks up. And I might want to spin those later, but I have a Serena for that. So now I double out, predicting him to switch into the Sceptile, but instead he goes into the Necrozma, which this is pretty much my Necrozma counter anyway, so it's fine. And I get a Toxic off on it as he goes for Charge Beam, which is an oddly specific set that I just happened to talk about in my team builder, which is great. So getting the Toxic off is huge on this thing. It'll severely cripple it, make it so that it can't set up too hardly on me unless it has Rest. And considering he has Charge Beam, he's not the Dual Dance set, which I was super scared of, which is nice. So I got the Toxic off. And now I'm going to switch into Mr. Man, or to Captain Kid, take the Charge Beam, and then I U-turn out, as I'm pretty sure he Morning Sun's here. And yeah, I go back out into my Celesteela. He can't really do much to me, so I just fire off a Heavy Slam onto whatever he wants to switch into. It has a pretty good matchup versus his team. It does a nice chunk, and from this I can tell that he was somewhat speed invested, somewhat HP or defense invested. So made me think he's probably like an Assault Vest or a Choice Band or a Belly Drum, which are pretty much the only 3 sets he can run. So then switches back into this as I double out into my Serena. I just decided to check his speed tier and U-turn out, check the damage. I knew that he didn't have much defense. And that does a massive chunk, so it's pretty much he's just going to sack it off. I switched to my Landorus just to guarantee the outspeed, kill it with an Earthquake. And yeah, so that's a huge threat on. And here I make a pretty sizable misplay. I think he's going to be a Zoroark, and I predict him to go for Flamethrower, expecting me to switch into Celesteela. So I just go for the Earthquake, knowing all its speed, and if it's the Zoroark, then it'll kill it, probably. But he is, in fact, the Sceptile. I do 36%, and as he gets up a sub, which is sort of scary. And here's my biggest misplay of the game. I switched into my Serena just to sack it off. I should not have done this, because once Serena goes down, I have nothing for Belly Drum Azumarill, which just runs through my team, and you'll see that might come into play later, and from how I'm talking it does. So, I shouldn't have done this. This was a dumb play, and it lets him keep the sub up, which, why did I do it? He gets some HP back from Giga Drain, and I go into my Celesteela. He goes for Hidden Power, puts me in range where it might kill me with the second one, might not. Heavy Slam to break the sub. I should have switched out here into my Landorus, because that was the play. Because I knew he was going to go for a second Hidden Power Fire or Electric or whatever this is. I have no idea why I didn't switch. I could have preserved this. So anyways, he does that. It's good for him. And then I'll go into this, because at this point, if my Landorus goes down, this Sceptile wins because I don't have Ice Shard and I'm not Scarfed. So that's bad. So I just U-turn out here. He goes into Infernape. I go out into my Tapu Koko, just get a Wild Charge off because it'll kill anything except the Steelix or the Sceptile. So that's good. And so he sends in the Sceptile. I switch into my Sneasel, expecting it to die to the incoming Giga Drain, but it doesn't die, which is always nice. So now he thinks I have Ice Shard, because Ice Shard is the logical move, or he thinks I'm Scarfed, but I don't, so I'm just going to go for knockoff, predicting the switch, and he switches into Zoroark, and yeah, that takes a huge chunk. He's going to die from another. I outspeed him. And now, I thought that I knew it was going to be the Z Belly Drum set, or at least I figured. So I was like, okay, I'll knock him to a range where he can't Belly Drum up, because I thought that Belly Drum, what it does is, it takes 50% off and then fully heals you. So I was like, okay, I'll get him out of the range, and then I can play around it, and then it's going to come down to the pretty much the Tapu Koko and the Landorus against the Steelix and the Sceptile, which I thought I could win, except for the fact that that's not how Z Belly Drum works, and I misunderstood the mechanics, and I lose. So yeah, I just Aqua Jet, knock off, Aqua Jet, and I'm dead. So that was a rough loss. I don't know. I felt like we had really awkward team matchups against each other, so I'm not too pissed about it, but I just didn't play nearly as well as I should have. I sacked my only counter to one of his biggest threats, and I don't know, just I gotta play better. Yeah. So I play Bronson next week. That should be an easy win, because we all know Bronson is absolute garbage. And yeah, thanks. See ya.